Introducing your co-hosts, Chedda Mike, Lil Mattress, and Dave. 3-piece and a biscuit. 3-piece and a biscuit. Scoop of gravy on the news or you missed it. We got you covered. 3-piece and a biscuit. 3-piece and a biscuit. 3-piece and a biscuit. Scoop of gravy on the news or you missed it. We got you covered. 3-piece and a biscuit.
Now we're good to go. Welcome everybody. Welcome to episode 15 of 3-piece and a biscuit. Hope you are enjoying the show so far. Meaning you're watching it in succession. Maybe you're watching it on your toilet. Anyway, I am that one they call Dave.
The one and only.
One of my co-hosts here.
It's been a while since we've seen you, Dave. I am Michael John here at Chedda Mike. Catch me on Twitter. Shout out to all the Steamians. You know, the Steam team. Keep it hot all day. You know it.
Lil Mattress at Lil Mattress, LILMATTRESS. Man, hit this hotline, 203-941-0045. Call it or text it. It's free.
Tell us how the hotline bling, y'all. I want to quick shout out to some Google Plus people. I've been putting our 3-piece out there. Got about almost 40 members following our 3-piece and a biscuit. Shout out to all y'all as well.
Nice.
Steam is definitely cool. Got the other right.
I keep it steaming. Keep it steaming.
LL Cool J.
This is the show where we come back once a week to talk about last week.
The week in review. Interesting week nonetheless.
Yes.
At war again,
At
right?
war.
I mean, it's everything. It's everything, right? Now we're at war again. If you want to believe that wars have ever
The purpose
stopped.
of war is a business, right? Keep it continuous and don't end it. Keep it, right? Is that how it works nowadays? Or
Part of
that's
this,
every day.
We're back at war. We had the Facebook hearings. Interesting memes of Mark Zuckerberg looking like Data. I thought that was funny.
Yep.
We got Comey coming up tonight on ABC, right, with George Stephanopoulos.
Comey got his book out. He's throwing the book at Trump.
Yeah, it's crazy, just accusations, names, and but what I say, I mean the P thing, distraction, diversion, but like I had heard about this, long time ago. He kind of got
Someone's peeing on somebody.
Yeah. President got really squirmy with Comey about like he actually wanted an investigation into the tapes. He's like for Melania's sake, and it was just odd, but it was.
Are they talking about videotape or audio tape with this?
Well, I don't know what this is, but I can tell you that a long time ago, like before, like, I'm talking about 2010, 2012,
okay.
I remember reading and hearing about Trump and, like, Russian girls peeing on him. That's why I'm saying, like, everyone's
So that's
saying,
why
like,
they raided
this.
his attorney's office to find tapes for sexual acts?
Well, I think it's just, it was the beginning of a can of worms, kind of looking to get into, like, what was...
They need to find something Russian,
up,
even if it's women pee.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I think this is the, I guess the...
I agree with that.
The sexual part about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, now there's like a $1.6 million payoff. But yeah, it's crazy. It's wild,
Speaking of sexual and disgusting, well, yeah, I guess. Remember last show I was telling you about what they might have found of Miss Clinton on that Wiener laptop?
I remember, I think it was
Review,
two episodes ago.
quick
Quick review. Anthony Weiner got busted with his laptop for pedophilia.
Hey, Ween.
And his
well, no, but that's not
his wife.
the official allegation.
His wife as well. His wife as well was also known for. She was actually an advisor, assistant for Miss Hillary Clinton. But I was telling you how on this laptop there were heinous acts by these. Weiner's wife, Weiner, his wife, Miss Clinton, with little girls doing horrific things like
the heinous anus,
like super bad. Like you could go to SGT report, just Google it to read it yourself. But I'm talking like some sadistic horror movie shit, like filleting off kids' faces and wearing their face to terrorize them and scare them, so that their adrenochrome glands get stronger in the blood and they drain it.
And then they vote Democrat.
And then they vote Devilcrat or something. But yeah, just
Diddy said, "Vote or die." What happened? People are dying.
Right, it's
bleeding.
Crazy.
But yeah, you could. That's a little leak project there. You could check that out.
Leaky leak.
Well, you might even be able to find the P tapes too, though. Like I said, there's shit on everybody.
Definitely,
they got it
R. Kelly all over.
On them all.
Got his
Now,
P tapes.
do you think there's a chance that Trump goes to jail for any of this stuff?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
Nope.
Good talk.
Nope. No, right. I think it's really all to do about like nothing.
They're trying
like,
to rally the big impeachment. Oh, we're gonna impeach him. Like, this is next year. Next year.
The end result of an impeachment still doesn't mean that the president's out of office. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
I don't see him going
Clinton was impeached. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He finished. Nixon resigned. That was the biggest deal about that one.
I still think a lot of it just comes down to and boils down to people still can't believe that Donald Trump won the election because they still go with the like, well, something must have happened. And they're still on that something must have happened. How long's he been in? Year, 2 years?
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
Like,
a
and
little
they're
over a
still
year.
on that something must have happened.
Actually, 1 year and 15 weeks to be exact, because we
It's
are
crazy.
Wow.
we are
Right
the
now-
birth of that creation.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a lot of people though that are of two minds actually because they thought they voted for Trump that wasn't going to go to war, and now here we are. He's doing things that he said he wasn't going to do. So.
Yeah.
I know Alex Jones is upset.
But which the other thing,
Which isn't
too,
hard to
is
do.
It's absolutely nothing new for a politician, though, that they got up, they said a bunch of shit, and then they got it
Exactly.
out. Like, Trump's not new in that way at all. That's literally every politician ever.
And with
you know?
that omnibus bill that they passed with that 1 point whatever trillion dollars, that goes towards that's a lot of military surplus money
Yep.
going into that. So
And this, I was thinking about that before. How his big thing was, this big robust military, and it's like, well, people enlist. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really the only way to like really get it big. You could throw all the
Yeah.
money in the world at it if enlistment's not going up. Like that's the really only way to get like this big robust, that you're talking about. And I think in people's mind they think throw money at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, the businessman throw money at it. But I think some of what you were saying were, and when you say a two mind thing, I think people not
Two
coming.
hearts to beat as one.
People can't still pushing to say that they are all dirty, try to get something on somebody.
Yep.
It's like everyone that passes through is always leaving with some type of dirt on them.
Yeah, I mean,
Some-
I
some
think
type of
that's why
something.
the Facebook thing is happening right now, because a lot of the main focus on the Facebook thing is fake political ads, which still, as you watch the people that are drilling Mark Zuckerberg, they have no clue what the fuck Facebook is.
And some of that
They
I think
really
was
don't
set
know.
up.
Yeah.
but even the main start of that whole scheme, and I'm not here to
Supreme Dream Scheme.
the Supreme Dream scheme first started with Obama and Hillary with Facebook, them getting all the data, but they're flipping it now to be, this is just for strictly Russia. This is how Russia did it, and let's
Yeah, I
not
think
talk
it's-
about
but
how
here's the
Obama and them did it prior. Nothing to do with Russia. No one wants to talk Russia when the Clinton Foundation was involved getting millions of dollars from Russia for giving them things. Like, no one wants to talk about those things.
Putin.
Why?
Because all different distractions, though. I mean,
that's
'cause
why.
it's-
That's what we're
That's what I
doing.
say, because it's really, if you thought the world was confusing then, it's got to be a little bit more now. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
feel
we went
sorry
from
for the next 20, 30 years. It's gonna be worse.
within 1 week, you know what I'm saying, we had our president give a shout out to Putin, you know what I'm saying, for his re-election, and then a week later he's just like, yo,
I'm gonna
coming
go to war
fast
with you.
and smart.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
coming fast and smart, So
Yep.
Might
I
be
don't
going
know.
for that, but in the grand scheme of things too, that might be behind the curtain. Hey man, let's separate for a little bit. Let's make it look like in public we're not together right now, because
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
above bombing somebody. Like, we just bombed Syria because Syria bombed Syria, so we bombed Syria to let Syria know not to bomb Syria.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
it.
just fucking happened.
I mean,
up.
it's,
That's
some people-
seriousness.
That's some seriousness.
Bars.
People were calling out false flag stuff like, all right, we're kicking the crap out of ISIS, and all of a sudden, suddenly, Al-Assad wants to go ahead and start bombing his people again. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
but I think this ties into that Bolton guy who creeped into the picture. You see
Michael,
him?
yeah.
yeah, Michael.
You know,
Shout out to Michael Bowen. He has in New Haven, Connecticut. Actually, he has a Music Changing Lives studio.
That's dope.
Shout out.
All right.
But you were saying?
No, but yeah, there's this new gentleman, Bolton, with the mustache. He came in guns ablaze, and he's like Yosemite Sam. He's like,
Yosemite
really, you know what I'm saying? He was one of the guys, the big guys on the Iraq thing. You know what I'm saying? He's like, they got them weapons. They got them weapons. I'll tell you, sure, son, they got them weapons. And as soon as he comes in, so it's just, it's just lightning, chain of events that's kind of going down.
How do you guys feel
scary.
about? I question the tactic of, "Hey Syria, we're bombing you tomorrow." How do you feel about that tactic?
Yeah, that I was turned off back in it was during Clinton, during not I guess the end of Desert Storm, but when he was like CNN was like the whole thing, like all you had to do was be not sitting in a cave watching CNN, you knew what was going on.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
that's
is it
why-
like you said? Maybe it's just common courtesy. Like, hey, Syria, we're about to bomb this facility.
there
Get
are-
all your people out because it's been known that there's chemical weapons being made there,
Yeah.
supposedly. So that's what we're gonna target. Like
That's well, you usually do. There is a declaration of war. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
like
Everyone
that
says
when we
it,
said last time with that unspoken rule in baseball about the no hitter type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like in war,
Well, that's what I was feeling. Maybe they were trying to hedge their bets against, because the biggest thing is killing women and children. So they were like, We'll give you a day. Get women and children out of there. The people that hang around are getting bombed.
Yeah.
But also the thing too, where we're talking about like, and we bomb their facilities, so they're done. They don't know how to make bombs anymore. That was the weird shit that I don't want. It's no, they
mission
they still-
accomplished part.
Yeah, because exactly with the big banner.
Yeah, we won, right?
Because we need to stop pretending that like they had to bring out big machinery to keep like no, you got it on a little flash disc how to do everything, how to still mix soap with frozen orange juice
like
and
that,
make napalm. Like they know how to do this shit. It's not.
It's almost a mixture of though, like you said though. Well, bringing it back though is Trump just he has to fool everybody to get everyone fooled to then change it, or is this more of a like what is it called, like that movie Wag the Dog or the Tail?
Yeah, no, like I said, this is
like,
just.
is he faking everybody out, get us all mad, and then later come back and say, hey, I had to fake you guys to, or is this the
This is seat of his
people in
his
his
pants.
positions telling him things and like he's too quick to push a button, then get his info team down there.
I think he's
to
this is
analyze
seat of
and
his pants.
survey.
This is seat of his pants running everything.
I don't know.
It's just like
It's the hezzy. It's the Trump fake. I
Yeah.
don't know about it.
We ain't
Yeah.
taking dumps on him. We taking Trumps on him. Okay. Let us
put
know
a
what
Trump
you think
out.
though out there. You leave a comment down below.
Or
Trumping
call
on him or
in,
dumping
man.
on him?
Like we said, the hotline is free, 203-941-0045. Let us know if you agree, if you disagree, if you love it, if you hate it, if you
We
want to
give
shout out.
outs, plugs. He knows. We're on the same level here.
Plug, yeah.
Mental wavelength.
True.
Speaking of mental wavelengths and dropping suplexes and bombs, what happened with WrestleMania?
Man, WrestleMania was both. WrestleMania was really good and WrestleMania was really bad. I've never been happier to be wrong in my life. Ronda Rousey kicked some fucking ass,
Saw some
man.
nice
heard.
little clips.
Ronda
yeah.
Rousey did good. She looked like it did not look like her first match. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep,
She was
yep.
a lot of people talking about best debut match ever type thing. They did their fucking thing. They told a simple story. Bad guy versus good guy.
Yeah.
There weren't too many flashy moves, it wasn't all that type of thing. It was really about the story.
So that was
She did her
I think,
damn
like you
thing.
said, if you're gonna pick a crew of people to work and get her over, like this is what you get. Like
Exactly.
you can't,
that was
You
the,
can't have a good match with Triple H and fucking Kurt Angle, then
people,
I mean,
So now she's ready to go each week, right? In the Raws. And all that,
she's
or-
not full time, but she's in there for
Yeah.
she's
the
in
foreseeable.
She'll be running in,
Hopefully-
sliding into the ring with a chair to
Hopefully
someone's
more
head.
than Brock, though. I think that's like the consensus. Is she gonna
What
be
happened
like?
with that?
Well, no. Brock's kind of like hey, I'm gonna show up at like 2 pay-per-views every 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like
Well, Brock's been the champ since last WrestleMania, and
Okay.
he's defended the belt maybe 4 times. You know what I mean? It's just one of
Yeah.
those, but it's one of those things where it's not his fault. It's he does his business deal. WWE feels like they need him.
Yep.
Me personally, I'd rather have Brock there, but just without the belt. Like, let somebody else have
Yeah.
the belt. Like, Brock's still an amazing attraction with or without the belt,
But what would be that role though? He'd have to be like the company man or the outsider. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
He'd have
without
to be a
belt-
step above Taz, or maybe 2 steps above Taz.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Taz was a short dude.
Taz was real short. I know that was one of the things I remember when ECW dissipated and all the guys came to WWE and we were like, whoa,
Yeah.
you guys are small as fuck.
Shout
Because-
out to Sabu though. I haven't heard that dude's name in a while.
Sabu.
Yeah.
But one of the things that hurt the main event, which was Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, is everyone because Dana White came out, and it's not his fault, but Dana White came out and said Brock's coming back to UFC. We don't
At
know when, but
WrestleMania?
no, like
Oh,
a week before
that would've been
WrestleMania.
interesting.
Dana White came out and said Brock's coming back to UFC. We don't know when, but he is definitely coming back to UFC. So, all the smart fans and shit, they all thought, okay, Brock's losing the belt.
Yeah, he
so
drops
they
the
just
title.
shit on the match from the start. They booed from the start. They were blowing up beach balls, knocking around from the start.
man.
Nobody paid attention to shit from the
disrespect,
start.
yeah.
Brock ends up winning. So then everyone,
Ah.
it's like, man, you guys ruined the shit for yourselves. So
Yeah.
it was that.
Yeah.
But no, man, there were some really good matches. There were some.
You think that's a
yeah,
call
okay
inside the
matches.
ring when they see that type of stuff?
In the dirt sheets and shit, they say yes, it was. They say no, it wasn't. They say Brock went backstage
Yeah.
afterwards and tossed the belt to Vince McMahon. Was pissed, So that's one of the good things about wrestling is you never know what's real, you never know
You
what's
think
not.
maybe
So
like
it
the
hooks you in
referee has a
always.
little bug in his ear?
Oh,
and
they
he's
definitely
like,
got the earpieces.
They're like,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, wait. According to the crowd, 4 beach balls means he loses. 7 beach balls, he wins.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. Here's the thing. No, you have like inside. You have like Vince and like Triple H with like a headset. And a whole bunch of people saying like, all right, drop the strap, or whatever.
Yeah.
Switch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's right then and there. So
Interesting.
Yeah, no, crazy. Oh, and then I didn't get to watch it because actually I thought it was on Netflix, but it's not. Andre the Giant has a 30 for 30, which I heard was just off the hook.
Andre
It's
the Giant.
I don't think it's it's a HBO documentary.
Oh, was it HBO?
Yeah,
Okay,
HBO.
all right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah,
I was
same
searching Netflix like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But I want
Awesome.
to check that out. I heard it was super cool. They found his
Yes.
brothers in like France and like
Are they
that
big?
was-
Bigger?
Don't know.
Yeah.
He was the biggest of his family. Well, but I heard was one of the people who did it. He was like the biggest of his
They
family.
call it-
His mom talked about a special chair that she had for him.
I thought
But
they
when
called
you-
him Andre the Dwarf.
No, but
Sorry,
they had
guys.
talked about like a special chair that they had made for him because he was so big.
Oh,
but like I
shit.
guess they say when you see the chair though, and in like basically the 40s, you know what I'm saying? Which
Yeah.
is like
It's a
couldn't-
throne.
yeah.
This
You
is
know,
the
but I think
throne.
that would be cool. Ric Flair's got the 30 for 30.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Ric Flair's
That's
got,
awesome.
and it's sad. Ric
Yeah.
Flair's 30 for 30 is sad. But speaking of Andre the Giant, I do want to watch that shit because man, listening to wrestlers talk about him is awesome. Where they were talking like when they would go overseas to Japan and shit. You want to talk about small here?
Yeah.
Over there, they said he would just use the bathtub as a toilet. Like, because he couldn't sit on their fucking toilets, or there would be the spots where there aren't the toilets, just a hole in the ground, and Andre's not squatting.
Yeah.
So they would say he would just take a dump in the tub, and that was it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys deal with it.
Or
You
you heard
know?
the stories of like 47 beers or something in a night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just
Yeah.
like
That's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Andre the Giant, man.
Yeah.
I can't even. I wish there was footage of him drunk as fuck. I would love to see.
I
him
don't know
drunk
how
as
that
hell.
would be possible though. You know what I'm saying? That'd be like just a wild, like just beast. Just
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, kinda like
There's a
you
lot
let
of
him slow
stories of
down.
it, though. There's
Yeah,
a
you
lot of
wait for him to
stories of it.
crash.
Yeah. But
Like-
another interesting thing with the Andre the Giant thing is they're kind of like reintroducing Hulk Hogan back into the fold
Yeah.
because he was interviewed for that. He was on the red carpet for that. So they snapped some pictures with Triple H and Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
Big Show and Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was mentioned a good amount in the Hall of Fame ceremony by a couple of different inductees. Like, he used to be persona non grata. Like, they took his
Yeah.
fucking cartoon off the WWE network, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And they're slowly starting to bring him back. And I think they're testing the waters with, like, all right, we'll say his name. Let's see who freaks out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll show a picture of him in a highlight reel. Let's see who freaks out. But
Yeah.
Hogan's going to be back sooner or later. It's going to be interesting with that.
And I think only because WWE is wrestling that there's no more separate. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just talk about wrestling, like ultimately it all funnels into like Vince's. He owns it all.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's I mean, if anything, if they want to boost back, they could always bring back Mankind. I mean,
No, he's not. Yeah,
is he like happy in his fucking?
He can't
World.
wrestle anymore.
Yeah,
He's fucked. Like, he gave his body to the game, you know? He was actually, last year, he came back as in a manager role for a little while.
I
Like,
was
he was
gonna
the
say, like,
manager of Raw
I
for a
thought he's
little
not
while.
an
What was
acting
his
GM
name?
right now.
Eric Bischoff.
Not now, but
in
he
between,
was. Yeah,
like
yeah, he
we said.
was.
What was Eric Bischoff's role?
Asshole. No.
Asshole Bischoff. Well,
But same thing. He was like the GM of Raw for a while, you know, and obviously the previous owner of WCW and stuff like that.
I
But,
still think the big boost for wrestling is putting roller skates on him. and to get him flipping
I
around
saw
in
they
the
were talking
arena.
about earthquake.
Get 'em,
Earthquake,
get 'em.
earthquake, typhoon, right?
Tugboat.
Going back to wrestling, I saw WrestleMania moments that we forgot was Ric Flair, his last match in WrestleMania versus Shawn Michaels,
yeah.
you know, and I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't see that match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So watching the finish of that match was just kind of,
The
it's
I'm
kind of
sorry.
cool, yeah. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Flair's hair
saying? Like,
looking. Flair hair.
oh, it was done. No, it wasn't even Flair hair. He had like Flair's like he had been like Tom. He got this chopped way too many times that his hair kept.
Yeah,
He's back
and
now.
an interesting thing about that is his daughter was in the front row, obviously crying and all that shit, and now she's champion in
Yeah.
WWE, and she actually beat Asuka, who was undefeated up until that point. Like, and Asuka was undefeated longer than Goldberg. Like, it was 290
yeah.
whatever the fuck days. So that was a big match. That was a good match. They kicked the shit out of each other, and because like in yes, guys, wrestling's predetermined, but in WrestleMania, like, they go harder than usual.
Very hard.
So
Very hard.
they'll do that.
Heart
like,
attack hard.
Yeah, they're not trying to potato each other, but some of those strikes come in a little bit harder than usual. You
Yeah,
know?
they're selling.
But,
we like to sell.
Yeah, so Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, that one was really good, man. Like, they kicked the shit out of each other.
I missed it. I gotta watch these highlights.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
have to
it's,
watch
it's,
that.
good,
it's
man.
good
They're
to
out
bring
there.
it back. Like I said,
That
it's an
one of
awesome
the
release.
I guess feel good moment for some of the people. There's the big dude Braun Strowman. He's fucking like bigger than the Big Show. He's fucking in crazy shape, all that stuff. He won the. There was a battle royal there's a battle royal, and whoever wins it gets to fight the tag team champs.
Yeah.
And he entered it alone and won.
Yeah, with the fans.
So
from the
then
crowd,
it's
right?
like, okay, so then he has they tell him, all right, but you have to have a partner at WrestleMania. So it's supposed to be a mystery partner. And some people loved it, some people hated it. Me, I didn't like it. He went into the crowd, picked out a fucking 10-year-old kid, put him on the apron. It was just like,
oh my god,
you know, yo, don't worry about it. And then he went and won the match. So it was, I guess, cool if you're a little kid. You would have liked it. And that's, you know, wrestling ranges all. But
Yeah.
so there's that. Then you make the tag champs look like bitches because one
Yeah.
dude
One
just beat
man,
both of
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
And it was just kind of
He was in the ring for like, what, 5
Is
seconds,
this the
right?
guy with the orange hair?
No,
No.
the other one.
But they're-
No, he wasn't in the.
I'm trying to John
in-
Cena
in-
this guy, like turn him into the.
No, I think they're trying to beast
No,
him.
not him. Yeah, he's just a
you gotta
beast.
see the guy. He's just what, like corn-fed cornbread.
Exactly,
Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? He's not.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
he has like country strong tattoo
Oh,
on his
yeah,
arm.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
one of those just
Yeah.
big fucking. He probably got muscles from baling hay. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, old school guys who them,
Yep.
them scrapplers who. You know,
He drank his milk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he tosses motherfuckers. Like he's one of
Yeah.
those like 6'10", 6'11", but in crazy shape. He's he's serious. But that was one of the moments about WrestleMania. But I'm sure all the little kids fucking loved it. You know?
Exactly.
So what's next? Survivor Series, right? Is that-
Um,
or that's the next big
I mean-
one. I mean, I know there's
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
monthly,
That-
but
that'll
there's
be the next big
three
one.
or four big ones.
Or SummerSlam might be first.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, SummerSlam might be
SummerSlam,
first.
SummerSlam, Survivor Series,
Yep.
Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. That's kind of
Yeah.
you know,
Those are the big
where they
four.
do it.
Yep,
You know
yep.
what I wish though, and before we get too far into it, but the old school WCW pay-per-views, those were cool too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the Starcades and the
Yeah.
Bash at the Beaches. You know, those were
What was the Halloween?
Halloween Havoc.
Halloween
you know?
Havoc. That shit was dope.
Yeah. But then you just kind of saw it like get like WCW tried super hard to just they really
trying to
I don't know
think
who
of
made it
theirs.
cartoony, but I mean
I can't remember. Their
What's that?
Sting, Ric
their
Flair, and the Steiners, like that's
pay-per-view names though for WCW.
Bash at the Beach,
that's-
Starcade
okay.
were the big ones. Halloween Havoc was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And then NWO just started, slash NWO shit.
Yeah.
Ellen.
And NWO, they rode out on that for a while, but then once it started going downhill, they started just trying everything and throwing shit at the wall, and there was like everything on a pole. There was like a Viagra on a pole match. Like it just got bad at some point,
Yeah, good old NWO. That was the old school psyop way back in the day. Illuminati. Vince.
Still, I guess
The
still,
Wolf Pack.
Still, some people like to believe, you know what I'm saying, like still controlling professional wrestling, right?
What do you mean?
The whole NWO thing, Triple H, Kevin Nash, like still. With
Oh yeah, the click.
X-Pac.
That there's
No,
still-
he said something. What did he say? I don't remember.
He said,
Something-
"Suck it!"
exactly. No, but dude, X-Pac is fucking hilarious because he's one of those. He got too he's gone. Like,
Yeah,
but
no,
he
but he's
doesn't
real now.
do drugs
That's-
anymore.
yeah.
He doesn't do drugs anymore, but he's one of those where you can tell he did too many drugs and I've never seen him blink. But he has a service dog in a baby Bjorn that he walks around with, and so there was just the 25th anniversary of Raw that came out. So then WWE does a little documentary about it and puts it on the network. And the funniest fucking part is so this dog is fucked up. Like it's blind in one eye, it has a broken jaw, shit's hanging off, and it's in a baby Bjorn. And Undertaker steps out of his SUV, and X-Pac walks up to him. Easy. X-Pac walks up to him. He's like, "Taker, what's up, man?" And Taker just goes, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, man, this is my rescue dog. I found it, on the street." And Taker goes, "Today?" And he's like, "No, like a year ago." And he's like, "All right." Like this shit was hilarious.
Oh,
Fucking X-Pac, man. What was his special move?
The Bronco Buster.
Bronco
right?
Buster,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then before that, though, was something else.
I thought it was
think
a kick.
He had a.
Or no, was it
He
off
had
the
a lot
top
of
rope?
kicks though, but he did
Yeah.
to beat Razor Ramon that first time. He did a moonsault,
yeah.
off the top rope into a pin. So that was the the
Razor
big one.
Ramon.
Birth of the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yep.
Wow,
And the
that's
Lightning
classic.
Kid and
The Lightning
everything
Kid,
Kid.
yeah.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
was just. He tried out a bunch of different names, but yeah, it was good. Basically, it was just a good weekend. Man, it's a feel good time. I'm definitely going next year. It's in Giant Stadium.
The
Shit,
Meadowlands.
shit,
Don't be disrespecting Jet
sorry.
fans in the city of New Jersey, all right?
Meadowlands.
They're talking about the obviously speculation and shit. It's still a year away, but they're talking about Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey might have females headline WrestleMania for the first time ever.
High flying
Yeah.
They give it to
females.
'em.
Talking about building it up, you know.
Why not? Why
Yep.
not?
Yeah, you know.
Shout out to Ronda Rousey. Then.
Day
Good
late,
for you.
dollar short. No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Good for
The,
them.
the feedback on social media though for her, like everyone was excited.
Dude, it was one of those because like I said, the first couple of little times out there, and I understand she was nervous. She's been in front of more people than she's ever been. Obviously, any normal person would be nervous, but when she got into that match, like you could tell, like wow, she really is this Olympic supreme
Yeah,
athlete.
yeah.
Like she did her fucking thing. It was
Dope.
nice, man. Like I said, I've never been more happy to be wrong. I was
Yeah, she's still got to talk, but yeah, no, I think there's no
Yeah.
doubt she's gonna be able to perform.
yeah,
Not bad.
she was definitely.
But
a
actually,
good performer.
coming up and performing, I'll keep on sports for a second. You guys heard or saw the Andre Ingram thing?
Yeah,
So
man.
that was a little feel-good story, right? Andre
Definitely.
Ingram, math tutor, comes out of nowhere.
The dream come
Um,
true.
Well, for a minute, you know what I'm saying, a week, you know, definitely more than his 15 minutes of fame, but comes up to the Lakers, you know what I'm saying, on the big stage and lights up
Nice.
like 19 points.
Yep.
So many rebounds.
Yeah, hit like 4 out of 5 3-pointers or 3 out of 4
Nice.
3-pointers,
Yeah,
something like that,
nice.
man. Yeah, he was.
He was due. He was due.
Yeah,
he
11
was-
years, 10 years, 10 years in the G League. That was a G.
In
That
the
was a
G
G
League.
right there. Andre Ingram is the definition of G.
Shout out to Ingram bringing him.
You
But it's
know?
funny to watch where everyone's like, why wasn't this guy ever looked at before? Because I guess in the G League, he has the most 3-pointers of all time. It's
Oh,
like
really?
751.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
watched
he's
them-
been playing minor league basketball for 10
yeah,
years.
for 10 years. So, but they were saying like he's someone that I guess just should have always been looked at, but got
Yeah.
lost in the shuff.
But he wasn't that big, though. I think because also he was like 6'4". So well, not to get an example. He wasn't like
Yeah.
the prototype, you know, big man as it is now.
Yeah.
Speaking of big man, though, saw some Sean Kemp highlights, right? He was a beast, you know.
He was my favorite basketball player. It was. I didn't like teams. I like players, man.
Yeah.
Sean Kemp and Barry Sanders. Those were my two fucking
Yeah.
my guys.
Yeah, but NBA playoffs. Who do you guys got? NBA playoffs starting right
Hoping
now.
that the
We got any
Celtics
favorites?
take it. Celtics playing the Bucks right now, actually, as we speak.
Yeah,
But right now the Celtics are hurting with their injured list. They got a lot of starters.
Yeah,
injured.
did Kyrie?
He
Kyrie's
was
out
out.
with a knee injury.
He was
A couple other guys, they're out right now. Smart. But we'll see, because Tatum, the rookie of the year here, well, he's been handling. So
Holding
shout
it
out
down.
to the Celtics, beat the Bucks.
Yeah, I'd like to see something like the Sixers. Sixers made the playoffs. Maybe the
Yeah.
Sixers make it. Seems wide open though. I
Sixers
think
got a good squad, too.
LeBron's the Cavs are like a 4 seed, just to show you how shuffled things
LeBron's
are.
though.
Who are they playing the 76ers? 76ers, they were playing someone big. It might have been them.
It's like I don't know. I don't think it's
You got the bracket?
Yeah,
Let's look at the bracket.
look up,
pulling up
NBA
a
While
bracket.
you're
playoff
pulling that
right
up, man, it was funny because I was looking at the. I saw a bracket that they didn't have the names on it. It was just the logos. And man, there's some logos. I don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah,
It's
some
funny
of them
to
they
see.
changed. You know.
Yeah,
Look
they're like
different.
the. There's a team called the Pelicans now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were the Hornets.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You
Who are
know-
the Bullets now? Are they still the
Washington
Wizards?
Bullets.
No, the Wizards,
Bullets.
right?
No, I don't know that.
No, the Washington Bullets haven't been a team for a while.
Yeah, that's what. Because I remember that was a big thing. But it's funny to think about
The
that.
Wizards.
Where
Wizards,
Yeah.
8 seed.
Are they
Here you
the
go. Hold
Wizards?
on. I'll give you a rundown real quick. So you got the in the Eastern Conference, you have Toronto as the 1 seed, Washington Wizards as an 8 seed. You have the Celtics as a 2, Milwaukee Bucks. They got the Greek Freak though,
You
right?
know
I don't
Drake's
know.
going crazy right now at Toronto.
the Bucks, yeah, they had that dude. I remember he was
Yeah.
popping for a minute.
Sixers are a 3 seed playing the Heat.
The Heat. Okay, that's
The
who it was.
Cleveland
That's why-
Cavaliers versus the Indiana Pacers. So that's the
Uh-oh.
Eastern Conference. Like I said, it's an interesting mix in there.
Yeah.
And then the West are the usuals, but not
Could be
necessarily
some big
the usuals.
upsets. Could be some low names.
well, let's see, run-
names, but low names.
Let's go through
Dude,
this round.
the Pacers in the playoffs aren't
Yeah.
nothing to sleep on. You know, the Pacers always.
And they
So
got
like
rid of,
Reggie in the corner.
yeah,
They
get
got
Reggie
rid
off
of,
the bench.
Got rid of Paul George, and now they're in the playoffs again.
Wow.
So now let's look at the West. We have the Houston Rockets against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Golden State Warriors against the San Antonio Spurs. I saw San Antonio Spurs 21 straight years in the playoffs. I thought that
Yeah,
was pretty
Wow.
they got a well-disciplined team.
Yeah.
Coach
Did
too.
they all the big men retired now? I mean, obviously I know David Robinson, but did Duncan?
Duncan's gone.
He
Yeah.
left- he
And then Kawhi Leonard's been injured in the head supposedly because it's like he's another freak that they still made the playoffs basically without him.
Wow.
But Trailblazers, Pelicans, Oklahoma City, and the
Trailblazers.
Utah Jazz. Jazz don't sleep on. I know that they were seemed like they were winning every week before the
Yep.
playoffs started.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Mailman.
I think
Quick first, if you had out of that list right there, out of the East, Toronto with first round predictions real quick. Toronto and Washington. Who do you think wins that series?
Toronto.
Sure,
There's-
Toronto.
okay.
I don't even know for them, man.
They'd be the 1 seed. So
Boston in the lead right
one-
now
one
by
seed
3,
makes
third
sense.
quarter.
Okay, so next one, Celtics. 2
Celtics.
versus 7. Celtics and Bucks. I might have to go with the Greek Freak on this one.
I think it
Home with
hinges
third, baby.
on him because of the
You got no Kyrie, so
yeah, because of the injuries. I think it hinges on the Greek Freak.
and then okay, so Sixers.
Gina
Heat.
Howard. What's that?
Sixers. Heat.
Sixers.
I think the Sixers.
I hope for
right?
the Sixers.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
fuck the
Celtics
Heat,
all the
man.
way though.
Cavaliers, Pacers.
I would like to see the Pacers.
I'd like to see the Pacers
Yeah, I think
because
this one you gotta go. I'm gonna go.
because I think then for the storyline, then I want to see what LeBron does. I want to
Yeah.
see if he freaks
Yeah.
out because he
That'd be
freaked
too
out
early,
earlier in the
yeah.
year and was just like
Yeah,
get rid
they
of
got
my
bounced
entire
early, I
fucking
know, right?
team. I wonder how Dwayne Wade felt about that. Like, hey man, we're back together. We're doing it. I got traded. Okay, cool. Yeah.
D Weezy.
But okay.
Weasel.
Now what about in the West though? Houston, Minnesota. They got
Houston.
1 versus 8. Houston, right? I think it's
Yeah,
an
the
easy one.
Rockets. The dude with the beard is nice.
2 versus 7. Now you have some injuries. I think Steph Curry, right, is out.
I'm not sure.
I think
He's
he's
either that or resting.
he's
you know?
coming. Yeah, he'll be
Blessed
back, but
be
he's
that
not
neighbor.
against the Golden State against San Antonio. What do you think there? That's a tough one, right?
Golden
How do
State
you-
for San Antonio.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm thinking that the Cavaliers get knocked out and the Warriors get knocked out. Everyone that thinks that the two head honchos,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Well,
be
the
gone.
Warriors, they just got blown out the other week by I forget who it was, but it was like something stupid, like 110 to like 79. Like they got blown the fuck.
Well, it
out.
was
Calling
close to the
upset
end of the
season.
season, though. But
Yeah.
Upset
Trailblazers,
season.
Pelicans. Honestly, I don't think anybody cares. We don't.
I would
right?
like to see Clyde the Glide.
Drexler's not
Yeah.
back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but you know, too, Brandon Roy, when he went down, I felt bad for him, man. He was just like, I thought it was like, boy, he's going to be nice. And then Oklahoma City and Utah Jazz.
I'm gonna go
What
with
is
okay.
Oklahoma City?
That's it
Oklahoma
with Russell
City,
Westbrook,
And they got
half
Carmelo.
man, half alien.
Oh yeah. He
They're a good squad.
averages a triple double.
Yeah,
That dude is nice.
Yeah, but like you said, they do have Carmelo.
They
who,
got a good squad, so I
Nope.
don't count them out.
Who are they versus? Jazz.
Yes.
Yeah,
Got
but
the
I'd go
Jazz.
with Oklahoma City. I still think that they're going to get to a certain point and then get beat, and because
Self-defeated.
because Carmelo is that fucking unlucky charm. I'll
That's
say
what I'm
it,
saying.
dude.
Yeah.
Melo is
absolutely. That's what I
nice,
think.
but he is that. Even though he's taking a position now where he's not the number one guy,
It's Mellow Jello. He's shaky. You know it.
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's the NBA.
That'll be interesting, and we'll keep up with that as the. Now, what is the how many games in the first round?
Best of 5,
Yeah.
right?
Best of 5.
First one of
okay.
3.
So
Let's get
short
'em.
series. Let's see.
And they run through them pretty quick, right? Like they don't try to drag them out too
No,
bad.
no,
they-
Boston up
a little
70,
bit,
66.
little bit, yeah. There's always
and the
that
A day or
playoff
two in
and-
between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
travel days and.
Yeah, they don't go like baseball.
Baseball, speaking of.
they make it last like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know.
Have we heard of any baseball? The brawl last week with the Yankees in
Ball,
Boston.
brawl.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yankees had a fight. There was also a fight earlier in the week. I think it was the Cubs, but
Yeah.
it's baseball, I guess. You know what
Put
I'm
up
saying?
your Cubs. Put up your gloves. Baseball gloves.
What do you think?
Oh,
Does fighting funny in baseball? Is it? You know, it's never going to be 1-on-1. You know,
It is funny to see when the pitcher hits the batter, then the batter talks shit, then the pitcher's like, "Well, come on, bring it."
Yeah.
Well, it kind of reflects on pro wrestling because in baseball they do the best job of being held back by two people and going, "Come on, motherfucker, come on!"
You know
but
what?
hey, these are your boys. They can let you go at any point. And
I
they
would
never-
love to see the pitcher grab the batter, throw him like a tag team does to the shortstop. Shortstop comes in with the clothesline. Damn.
What about who was it when Manny tossed the old dude and didn't even toss him?
Pedro
Pedro.
Dom Zimmer. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's with like a little
Yeah,
bull.
yeah.
He just laid him off to the
That's
side.
what I was
like-
gonna say. Like he didn't even throw him. All he did
Yeah.
was sidestep. And in the first place, what was he supposed to do? Be like, okay, 70-year-old old fuck, please hit me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
That
He
one was great.
he could have pulled like a butterscotch out of his pocket though, and just like, you know what I'm saying, sat down. By the
could've
time
tossed the
Zimmer
Werther's
got to
original.
him, we're acting like Don Zimmer was a raging bull. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
He was like the
But-
Don Rickles of
Bro,
baseball.
I'm not talking about a raging bull, but he was the first one to get to him somehow.
Yeah,
You know?
everything was on
But
his
he
mind.
was
going for
trucking.
Pedro. You know?
Goodness. Funny.
That was
What
great.
about, what's this one over here?
But real quick, no one ever gets hit though. That's
No,
the
they
weird
do.
fucking
No, you
thing.
have to see him.
There's
It
a
doesn't
couple.
happen too often,
Yeah.
but it does. Yeah,
Yep.
it does. And I think that's really the fear of it because I don't know if baseball players are fragile, but usually like
Well,
one of the
especially
guys.
a pitcher, you don't want him to fucking punch someone and
Right,
break
no,
his
but
hand.
you would think that it goes two ways. Like one, the last guy you might want to be hit is maybe by the pitcher. Like you think that if a guy throws like 100 miles an hour, he probably has a pretty strong.
He
yeah.
definitely
you know?
knows how to whip his hand back and forth.
You know, but then you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Then you have a guy like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, who
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Aaron
like,
Judge
like,
is fucking. He's a beast.
saw this. He was the clip of him stealing a base the other week. Like, second basemen are typically smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The smallest guy
Yep.
in the field. But saw him stealing a base. And the guy's got speed, but it just looks so disproportional. Like, if you didn't know that it was like a baseball game going on, you saw this huge man like barreling down on this like wow, like 6'7" and like 5'8". It was just like, oh my god.
But one of the funny things about the brawl too is when the batter, he's pissed. It's about to go down, so he runs at the pitcher. Then the pitcher throws the glove at the batter that's running at him. But then the batter does the don't hit me glove. When you're like,
the way he gets out of
If
it,
you
I
kept
know.
running, you would have had him.
He just
you
hit
would've
you.
been
He just
good.
hit you with a ball 90 miles
Yeah,
an hour.
yeah.
He's throwing a glove with his opposite hand right now, and you just
you did the jump and spin and turn your back to him maneuver, which is like, bro.
It makes me believe that LeBron takes a charge, like when you do shit like that.
Because all I thought, I was like, because that's what happens too is usually 9 times out of 10 the batter never reaches the pitcher.
No, yeah,
and if
but-
they
but
do,
it is-
it's the wild swing
It's
that
the catcher's
someone
job. And
ducks.
so when you say like,
yeah.
do they actually hit? Like if you watch, this is where I say like sometimes baseball people
in
are
the
like,
pylon, yeah, people
Yeah,
are throwing
no,
shit,
you
but I
see
mean
some-
that initial like
no. And the
no
all-time
batter's
classic-
ever run up and just straight up knocked out a pitcher.
all-time
you know?
classic though. Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura. You guys remember that
Yeah,
one?
Nolan Ryan,
Robin
he was a
Ventura
grizzly
charges
old
him out.
motherfucker.
Nolan Ryan put him in a
Headlock,
headlock.
yeah.
I mean, that was just.
Nolan Ryan was the man.
Who's the side armor for Yankees? Jeff Nelson?
Jeff Nelson, yeah.
There was one with him though, where the bullpens, the other side bullpen, they kept just antagonizing the shit after there was a home run or something, and the dude had enough, hopped the fence and gave him some really good hits. Like,
Wow.
like dang. And Jeff Nielsen
He
though,
jumped in the bullpen?
he switched. Yeah, he went over to the other side, but he's this dude that got this really heavy cowboy mustache. So like, he's just like this wild west
Yeah.
gunslinging
He's a big
motherfucker.
dude. I think he was like 6'10".
He is a
so
big
like
dude,
I said,
yeah.
it comes down to
Speaking of sick, man, Randy Johnson was the dude back in the day.
There was a clip of Randy Johnson throwing a fucking fastball when a pigeon came by.
Yeah.
It was actually the anniversary was.
Not too long ago.
No, yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Yep.
But then I also remember that was one of the freaky things. But I remember growing up watching a Met game, and there was a high pop fly to the shortstop. The shortstop was Rafael Santana, and that ball hit a pigeon and came down. So
Did he still catch it off the? Like,
No.
Did it like bounce or just boom? It like hit it on the up.
it's one of those things where like you might have to call like the conspiracy team because it's
Yeah.
just like the cameras weren't the greatest at the time.
Yeah.
I don't mean the greatest, but
Yep.
the way they followed the flow of the game.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So when it was a high fly ball, usually what happened was you zone in on like the fielder
player.
who's getting
Yeah, yeah.
under the ball. You know?
Is that an infield fly or an infield bird?
No, I think it's a dead eye. I think it ends up being a dead ball.
Yeah.
But don't.
That was interesting.
Steam it! But
Yeah, we got to go to batting cages sometime, man.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if they still exist, but
They do. Scary places, though, man. That's where I think reality can kick in and can bite you in the ass.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
ball hits you in the head.
No, it's in the hands. I mean,
Yeah.
lucky if
Oh man! Oh, what is this though? The 974 total fans. They went
Oh.
to Chicago White Sox.
yeah,
and
White Sox played the Rays. 974, 78.
How many
fans
seats
showed
does that stadium
up.
hold?
At least 40,000.
Whoa.
But there maybe 33, 31, but definitely
They are
a
was,
percentage
was
of
it
them.
an off day? Was it a noon game? What
Well,
was
it's
it?
beginning of the year. Don't forget, these
Yeah.
teams, just like us, are about 15 episodes into their season.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's in Chicago, which is cold as fuck right now in
Yeah.
April.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that just ended up being the turnout, which was kind of
That's wild. Did they harp on it in the guys doing the camera where they like showing the crowd a lot?
They
or did
talk
they try
about
to stay
it.
away from
They
it?
talk about it, but I've heard stories where players say like, honestly, has no effect on it. Like when they had that DC the shooting at that charity game back in Washington. Baltimore ended up playing a game, but there were
Yeah.
nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody was allowed
like
in the
3
game.
or 4 people got
Yeah,
in.
camera.
'cause
It
they blocked
wasn't.
everything.
But yeah, it's no difference. Business as usual.
Yep. Crazy. Interesting.
So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. NHL hockey, if you guys are fans, that playoff time is here. I'm not much of a hockey fan, but I know the Vegas. I'm pulling for the Vegas Knights. I think they got a dope logo. They
Fucks
made
with
the
Vegas
playoffs.
Knights?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's That's
Dusk to dawn.
my three-piece to the biscuit for
What's this
sports.
news on Kaepernick you were telling us about, though?
Oh yeah, Kaepernick. He had a tryout scheduled, for the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
And somewhere in the negotiation of the tryout to look at him, it broke down because they, I guess, demanded, hey, if we hire you, you can't do the kneeling thing anymore. And he said, eat a dick. No, I'm not doing it. But it's interesting that it got that far of, because you would think if that's one of their demands, that it would have been just right off the bat instead of, from the rumor that I got is, it was set up he was going to go do a tryout with them, and then somewhere in the mix, maybe the uppers didn't know about it, but then it got to
maybe it was one of those things like let's try to make him feel good. He's getting a tryout. Let's make him feel nice, entice him a bit.
Hey, you can get your dream again.
And
but
then,
all you have to do is
Well, so I think Seattle's typically known as one of those franchises that'll grab a player like that. You know what I'm saying? One of those
Do they
work
still
on.
have that coach, the head coach with the gray silky?
Pete Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll.
That's
right?
probably his
From
idea.
USC. Like I said, he's open to it all. But I thought it was the other way actually, where he had the tryout. But I think I thought that he came out and said, but I'm still kneeling. But either way,
he might have.
Bottom line, it still came down to like this.
Bottom knee.
Bottom knee.
Yeah,
it still came down to if you're gonna kneel, then we don't want you on the team. But it's interesting that because it used to be just him, and then it was, oh my God, what the fuck is this guy doing? Fuck him, get him out of here. And now there's so many players that kneel,
popping up.
and I think it got to the point where it's too many players kneeling to kick them all out, because then you get the old school situation where, hey man, we got to bring up the fucking guys that used to play in high school, and it's
But again,
it's not that they don't want the original back. When like, hey, tons of other people are kneeling, but not you.
Well, I think it's because nobody's going to put a microphone in any of the other guys' faces. They're going to put a microphone in him because you want to say that he started it. He has a look that you can, run with.
I think this is my opinion. I think a piece of it, like how baseball is America's pastime. Basketball, they didn't really have to were there men that had to go to the draft, and baseball was that era. So it's like the baseball, they have the singing of the national anthem, in the seventh inning. Like it's more stitched in there like a fucking baseball.
Hello.
But basketball is a little, they didn't have that time when their players had to leave and there was no baseball. You know.
And Dave, you were talking about before about Michael Vick.
He had
some comments.
Yeah,
like Michael Vick hasn't always made the best decisions.
Yeah,
but,
he was trying to give him some advice on that. He had told him, maybe
Speaking of
changing
Colin
his
Kaepernick,
look,
Colin Kaepernick, yep.
get a haircut or something.
But in my opinion, okay, Kaepernick's got the fro going right now. If he were to be signed to a team, if he were going to play, I just think for himself, I bet you he would just row it up. Because it's going to make more sense for himself.
There's other players on that team that have a mini fro, medium fro.
I would just say,
But I'm talking about for him, and I don't think as in from any pressure from anyone, but I think just for the comfort of putting your helmet on, he would probably go with cornrows instead of, because he's got a fucking fro. Yeah. He's got the who was the dude on Pittsburgh back in the day? He had the fucking luscious hair that he even got a shampoo commercial out of it.
Oh yeah, Palomalo.
Yeah, Palomalo.
That's the funny. Yeah, nobody's coming giving him shampoo commercials and money.
Right.
Money's drying up, but I don't know.
His hair's drying up, probably.
I think his wallet's drying up. Which is the unfortunate part about it.
Man.
But yeah, it was kind of what else was going on in sports? That was kind of it. Anything new? What's up with the little conspiracy for a second? The weather. It's crazy. No, I thought it was about to snow this morning. It was like 70-something degrees.
We're in the middle of April, right?
I think Illuminati's controlling our weather with the seeding clouds and.
They got
giving
these
me this terrible
military
cold.
bases in the coast of Western Africa.
East Mongolia.
East Mongolia, where if you get the right pressure of methane gas, it increases the temperature in the global circumference on the tilted axis.
Hello.
Of the remember that joke? There's a joke here. If it's cold, go sit in the corner. I heard it's 90 degrees. That has to deal with climate change, right?
Yes.
Bars,
So
math
people
jokes.
out
See
there,
that? Put all the homeless people in the corner.
Back on subject. But conspiracy with weather and how they manipulate it, right? But supposedly there's a conspiracy 3D human printers and changing
But
the
real
DNA.
quick on the weather, whether it has been fucked with or tampered or not, it's definitely changed, which is interesting because, our birthdays are close to each other. I remember growing up as a kid, April was never like, it's
Didn't
cold out.
seem
Like I
this
remember
way.
for my birthday and shit, like we would be out playing football, we would be out playing soccer, we'd be outside
By
doing
March.
something, and now, fuck that. Like we're not. It's April and we've had one nice day, maybe two,
Yeah.
and we're in the middle of April, you know. So yeah, it's
think,
interesting because I remember growing up and then we'd definitely be out playing basketball or doing something outside on my birthday. And now it's just like, nope.
It's like we skip spring, go straight to summer.
Yeah. I think we're going to eventually just have two. I think we might now just have two fucking seasons.
Well, speaking of weather, they say we have two suns. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
There's a lot.
now.
Well, yeah,
And
actually,
they say the
before
sun's getting hotter and bigger, and the sun releases quartz, and our eyes are affected by quartz. And they say once we get to a higher quartz level, we're gonna actually see different spectrums of the UV, and that's when actually we'll be able to. For example, like how when you've seen something, you thought you saw something out the corner of your eye, or you think you're being watched, or the different spectrums of ghosts and Egon, and
I've seen it. I've noticed there's a passenger when I do my driving. My third eye is opened up. There's a passenger that I have. The fucker hops around from seat to seat though.
Yes.
But yeah, he goes on the rides. He picks up the empty seats and But yeah,
Yo, put rose
part
quartz
of
above
being
your
a
door.
they call him Bob Nosey.
No. He moves quick. I don't know if I have a name, but I know when he moves though. He moves around in the car.
Interesting.
So you think it'll be like we'll be able to see things that we weren't able to see before?
Yeah,
Once
we'll be able to have a spectrum of
See on different planes.
visibility.
That'll be interesting.
Yep. So pretty much, I guess you could call it's a sense of human evolution.
Evolution, open up your fourth eye.
Open up the fourth
Right,
quadrant.
anything. But do they want to see? Do they want to see? They're gonna go in like this, like
Whatever they create. Who
No,
knows? Who knows?
Question. Speaking of the Earth, 1/3.
1/3 of all millennials. Yeah, there was a survey that I read. 1/3 of all millennials believe that the Earth is flat. You know
What
I'm
on
saying?
God's
So,
flat Earth are you thinking?
Crazy so
people.
Definitely interesting.
I heard people think that the Earth is a ball, but then there's a fucking pyramid on top of the ball.
That was
I was
crazy.
like, what the fuck are you smoking?
It's crazy. I mean, I do. You know what though? You have. There's a certain level of respect that goes into it because
The woo woo.
until you have the means to really find out, like it's I think it's interesting. Interesting nonetheless.
I think Elon knows the truth.
Yeah, right. And he's
Young Muskie.
look at it like him. I mean, the man's fixed on putting people on Mars.
And I think
Yeah.
if he doesn't do it, then there's gonna be a high level of either movie magic or okay, people, it's time to start doing your own research and figuring out facts for yourself.
I still want to know why there's no stars in the picture of the fucking guy that he put in a car out in space. Like, there's no stars. Like, that shit is...
There's someone debunked
I'm
that.
not saying that
yeah.
Well, they were saying that the sun was in the wrong position for it. But
There's a lot of debunkers.
It was just one of those... That shit looked like you looked up black background and put the fucking car in there and photoed like it was. And I'm not saying that it's fake. I don't know, but it was just
come down to what we could do though. The way things have been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
But even if it was fake, though, a majority of people would still believe it anyways.
Mhm.
So, I mean...
Yeah. Man, and that goes back to how you were talking about with the if that
the biggest lie ever?
if the fucking Hillary Clinton thing is true, like
Oh, yes.
it could be a thing of with she's cutting off little kids' faces, putting them on, like holding her ID, saying I'm Hillary Clinton. I just cut this bitch's face off. Vote for me next. Like doing like playing around or some shit like that. That could come out, and there's still gonna be a ton of people that are just like, that's not real.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not real, guys.
The whole spoof on this whole video thing is they're gonna try and spoof and say how there's the computer technology where you could
Yep.
graph people's faces and put it on other
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Like, okay.
And then they'll match it up with other footage of like, see how this looks like the footage when she was just walking. What is the metal shit that fell out of her fucking leg? I want to know shit. What's the fucking metal bar that fell out of her leg?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Still want to know that shit,
that-
bro.
that-
It was
that
a
family
metal
is-
bar. Like, it was a fucking, like, that shit was,
Family's filled with secrets.
yeah,
Filled with them.
that shit was bugged out.
Conspiracy or not, they're filled with them.
And even if conspiracies are real or not, man, it's interesting to talk about. You know, like, just
Shit,
don't
they
fucking,
real.
don't, well, some aren't,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like, but yeah, just don't go out ruining your life over it, you know, that's the thing. Because I remember back in the day, And also back in the day, and by this I mean perhaps like 18 years ago, when we found out who Alex Jones was, he was also a very different person when we found out who he was.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't.
He got touched.
Yeah, exactly. Like I changed my opinion on him years ago to where I said if he was important, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Because he's not the same person. And I'm not saying he got brainwashed. I don't know what the fuck
He's
happened, but
scripted
he's
now.
not the same person.
I saw an
He's a
interesting
puppet.
thing on him though. No, but there was like his aggressiveness in searching for something. There was God, where was it? But somebody who showed him some, put him on to some stuff, and the way that he was getting like all amped up about the stuff, and the guy was just like, I'm showing you some stuff, but like
Yeah.
and he's just like, this is where the sacrifice is about to go down.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
guy's just like, no, dude, I'm taking you to a secret meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking you on some like some deep shit, but
This
no,
is-
there
this
ain't
is
gonna
where
be no.
This is where the printer is. Copy paper.
Yeah, I saw a good interview with him on Joe Rogan where like Joe Rogan calmed him down like 5 or 6 times when he's like, yeah, you're saying a lot of words, but you're not saying anything. Like I'm asking you a question about, because he's talking about they have these weapons in space, but they're not weapons. They're really portals where they just communicate to other beings and he's like, well, how do you know this? And he's like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. But you gotta see that. And it's like, cut that
that's
shit the fuck out.
Like I said, that's where a lot of it ends up, coming from, because it's just like, well, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
That's the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
tell me I'm
and then
wrong.
Also,
Yeah.
I like how Rogan though he takes him on his show and he totally like discredits him by getting him high and fucking drunk.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Here, just hit this first
I
and
know.
then answer all of my questions.
Yeah, but it just shows you how everything else unravels. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how anything gets done, right? I guarantee
Yep.
you, if like beautiful woman comes in offering like samples, you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in the mood to drink today.
Exactly.
Like it's so.
That's hilarious.
So Joe Rogan's a beautiful woman. That's what we're saying. That's the.
He's a hairy
No,
beautiful
but
woman.
it is awesome when you see Alex Jones on his show. You know you're in for a good ride
Yeah.
as well. But hey, man, real quick, let's do a couple of plugs here. 203-941-0045. That's our hotline, man. You can call it. It's free. You can call it or text it. Leave us a
right.
message. Let us know what's going on in your world. Let us know if there's a certain subject you'd like us to cover. If you just want a shout out, man, hit it up. 203-941-0045. Call or text.
And that's the same for all y'all out there in the Steemit community. We will shout y'all out. You got a product, you got your own podcast, you got music, you got photography, you got art, you do news, you a comedian, whatever's clever, don't matter, let us know. We shout out to you, you shout out back to us. You know who it is. Michael John, at Chedda Mike. I got a Twitter, and I got a Google+. That's all I got. Good grades in school. Google Pluses all day. You know me.
Bars. So
Right, word.
you were going into it, man. What's up with this 3D human printer?
3D human printing
Yeah.
now, and this is something new here. So technology is out now. It's already happening where they have biometric cells that communicate with your organic cells, and they make copies. It's called what's the coding for computers where it's dual binary or
Binary
coding?
code?
Binary code. So it's dual binary coding. So they turn it into
dually.
zeros and ones and alls, and if you got enough money, you could clone your best attributes and have a W if you're
Now-
you gotta be places and you're a busy person. And
Are they talking about being able to transfer consciousness as well?
yes, there's actually another company out where just for a starting 10,000 down payment, this is actually it's assisted suicide, but they would once you get your consciousness downloaded, your meat suit, I don't know if you want to call
Yeah.
it, is gone, and they will upload you to their cloud.
Nah, you see, I'm about.
Yeah,
That's,
I'm
Black-
just waiting for the first person to do that, and then how do you know it works? Because
Yeah.
you're trusting, and people talk about the cloud's free, the cloud is just someone else's fucking computer.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it's
get that
interesting
shit
with
out your
that
head.
because that is an exact episode in Black Mirror,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the TV show
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Mirror. Like, no,
It's a
like
movie,
down
though,
to,
too, though.
that's the
It's a
exact
new series
episode.
on Netflix called Altered Carbon, but they're
Yeah.
slowly getting people ready for the idea of. We had the episode
Yeah,
talking
what's
about
out
would you
there and-
would you download
Yeah.
yourself and rather take this
Yeah.
infinite life of fucking hell.
Yeah,
And that's the only thing I could think of, because once you're in their system, you're programmed, man. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to talk about being programmed now? At least we have a choice to off ourselves as our
Mm-hmm.
own program, you know? Like,
Yeah, see, I'd be down for like the hybrid version though. Give me a half cyborg. You know
Well,
what I'm
that was
saying?
the
Like
thing
I'm
with-
down for about I'm volunteer for
RoboCop.
volunteer man. Yeah, volunteer man
with the
program.
3D human printing, they were saying so you could take the best qualities of, like, let's say, oh, you want to be super strong, the ant, you could take that coating, mix it with, oh, you want super sight, take the coating of a hawk, mix it with your human coating,
gang.
you know. So it's like, or you could just turn it into a fucking Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
sounds like very Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll. And
You know
Mr.
what's
Hyde.
interesting about that? I wonder if that's to combat like the idiocracy theory, where how like Susie in the trailer park is going to have 15 kids and Bill Gates is going to have 2 kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I wonder if they're trying to do the because I don't know the way to balance that. You know what I mean? And I wonder if that may be part of it on the back burner of like, listen, if we can just start making smart people, and so we know that like there's the definitive these are going to be smart. And I'm not saying you can't come from the trailer park and eat mom's spaghetti and all that other stuff, but like, yeah, you got to like.
Well, the first
percentage
mission,
wise, like 15 people that are born, to a single mom in a trailer park, their chance of making anything of themselves is a lot lower than like I said.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, opportunity.
Being born in Trump Towers.
yeah. But even it's weird because Trump is one of the
He was big on eugenics.
he's one of the rare billionaires or millionaires that he's got like 6 or 7 kids. Like and that's rare for a family like that,
Trump taking dumps, craziness.
Dump on him.
But what was I gonna say? Back to the 3D human printing of the other science squad. They actually more research finding out that human beings are actually only 43% organic human, and the rest is alien.
Dude, octopuses are something else. I'll tell you that, man. Because I just watched the movie Arrival. It's an alien movie coming down to us,
yeah.
and then the aliens are
Sentiopods.
yeah.
Yep.
Always like, but they remind me a little bit of octopuses, man. And when you see an octopus, it's like, dude, what the fuck is that? You know?
It's awesome. Sometimes I just go on YouTube and I type in octopus swimming, and it shows me majestic views of a weird-looking fucking creature in
But
the
even
ocean.
they're
like,
smart too. Like they put them in like a fucking jar and seal the lid, and they get out.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's some.
It's crazy to think we're busy making fake videos of outer space, but we could go down below. Maybe down
that's
below.
always been my curiosity is how big the ocean is.
Some people actually think that. Remember I was telling you about Antarctica and how underneath the ice there's actually like island type places.
Yeah, but
Some people think that's actually the remnants of Atlantis.
yeah. Well, even prior to that though, there was X amount of It comes on the root race. You guys heard the root race theory?
No.
Or kind of like that whole superhuman thing. Like just in general, we're seeking out like the best. So like some people thought that like Hitler's way of going about it was with charity. And then they say like the science way of going about it, like talking about how like coding yourself. But no, it's interesting though because talk about visiting the rabbit hole though makes you think like are there actual like races that are like in existence and you know what I'm saying like
Totally. So the Canadian Prime Minister, he's not anymore, but he was a whistleblower talking about the 5 different races that are already proven to be existent amongst all the government ops and how we work with them. Like
but some of them going
3
back
out
to
of
like
the
that.
5 are good, 2 of them are bad, and
Yeah,
people aren't aware that there's a galactic war going on and shit. Like I'm like,
The Prime Minister said it.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And was it just?
It was at one of their house meetings, and it's been on record, and then he'll go on other shows.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, knock it all you want, RT, just because it has a R and it stands for Russia.
Yep.
Fake news. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Is it a thing
bunch.
that they're just trying to play him off like he's crazy?
a little.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of that, and a little bit of just playing it to numb people that it's real, so that when it really does happen, it's like, oh no, we didn't lie to you. There's 10, 15 years of fucking articles and interviews, and you just chose not to,
Not to believe it.
Yeah, so but
Hey.
we're so actually back to root races. If anyone wanted to look it up, they say we're in the 5th one, the Aryans, which is kind of like scary because at first when you think of Aryans, you start thinking of
The
worst,
worst
the Nazis,
worst
you know.
on the planet,
But yeah, actually, I guess there's the root of the word being noble. But yeah, the Aryans were after the Atlians. You know.
Interesting. And there's a lot of people that flip it over and say that Hitler was actually trying to do something good, and how his story was flipped to make him look bad. So many different stories out there. It's just everything to fucking it's make your brain melt.
Crazy, yeah. But again, no, you know, if there is a truth, you know, no one wants to believe it when
there is a truth, it shall set you free.
Yeah, because sometimes the truth is a lot more boring than
I know.
Could be,
I know. Yeah, you know, that's why I say like it'd be, you know, talking about flat Earth earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, great. But then what if like, you know, the ultimate proof comes out, you know, the otherwise, or saying like, you know, aliens don't exist, but like, you know, they do exist though. Like just. You know, it's crazy what you could choose to believe in, you know.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna want to try to medicate you for having that thought, you know.
Yeah.
Take this twice a day.
Get all crazy, I know.
So to smoothly transition into this, Mike, tell us about this guy that might eat his dick.
Oh, okay, Mr. John McAfee. We all know that.
Let's end off with this.
We all know that antivirus that back in the day, everyone's computer came with the antivirus.
Yeah, he probably had like a free 90-day trial of some McAfee, you know.
Yeah. Oh, he's got my money on 5 devices.
So he's known as the cryptographic guru. He's been in computers. Yeah. He's 70,
Mr. Crypto,
almost
Mr.
80 something. Yeah, he's Mr. Pro gun rights, all that, the true libertarian, all that, like Dave here said. He has made a bet in 2020, Bitcoin, by the end of 2020, it will reach $1 million per Bitcoin. If not, he will eat his dick. Yes, you heard right. Everyone out here knows. Everyone in the crypto community knows this. Like that's why they follow him. Just to make sure that he holds true to his cock eating habits. You know.
And this was the thing. He didn't mean like as in, he meant literally.
He meant
that's the thing. And he explained thoroughly that he meant literally.
He'll get injections into his penis so that it's numb. He'll be wide awake.
Yeah.
Incision, cut, chop, some fucking manicotti and sausage. There, slicing
Gordon
and dicing.
Ramsay style.
Right. And this is if Bitcoin does not reach 1 million by
the end
20.
Of 2020.
So basically by 2021.
Yes.
Interesting.
And right now, speaking of Bitcoin, price of Bitcoin currently roughly between $8,250, $8,300. At the lowest resistance level we're seeing fighting here, just for y'all to know, is 6,500. If it goes below that, look out. But right now we're moving up again. Some people think within by June, July, $25,000 Bitcoin, and then from there we'll see some other things happen.
Moving on up.
$40,000, $50,000 by the end of the year. Some think 50 to 100K. We will see.
Good
John
try.
McAfee, on the other hand,
But here's the thing, though.
dick in hand, ready to go.
Take the dick bet, because if it doesn't hit the 1 million,
We got to get that in
you
Vegas.
still get paid though, because you know a lot of people saying now is the time to buy because it's
McAfee's also been he's like that. He's also that Wild Wild West dude. Like, he'll do interviews for like bottles of tequila. Like, you got to give him like 4 bottles, tequila or this or that, or fucking you got to pay him like 1 Bitcoin or 3 Bitcoin for a fucking
so he's all in on it, as in like
he's been in. He actually tweets about paying his hookers and prostitutes in cryptocurrencies and this and that, and
it was kind of scary though. The guy known for making
a
the
lot of followers.
antivirus, known for the creation of this antivirus is supporting
and then known for the guy that's for the godfather of antivirus, but he's been getting hacked lately.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
that's interesting.
Actually, real quick, interesting one. I didn't want to before we close out local news. I wanted to touch on this one. Did you guys hear the Ansonia Webster Bank was robbed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, robbed, and the gentleman took off for Rhode Island. Took off for Taylor Swift's house.
I heard about that.
I don't know what his plans were to do, but he robbed the bank for $1,600. Exactly, yeah, robbed the bank for $1,600. Got to her property.
16 or 60?
$1,600.
All right.
Okay, so thank you for Taylor Swift. Not talking about I think she got a little bit
That's
more.
like 16 cents there.
She could literally wipe her ass with that at all times of the day.
Robs the bank, goes to the property, makes it rain over the property, comes back to Connecticut, gets caught, and explains wanted
that
to
was what he wanted
to gain her attention and her
notoriety.
admiration. Yeah. So that
Wow.
was cool. So yeah, idiots everywhere.
Yeah.
Not just, you're not watching us. You might be one yourself.
Wow.
Just don't, we don't condone robbing banks. What else do we condone?
No.
That's too funny.
Not that. We don't condone cutting the faces off children and putting them
But
on.
we do condone subscribing to the 3-piece and a biscuit. We surely do, folks, and we do appreciate it. Trust that.
Oh yeah,
Trust
please
that.
hit if you're watching this on YouTube, man, hit subscribe. Comment down below if you like it. Click that like button if you want. Share
Yes.
it to the people that you think might be interested in it. If you want to get involved yourself, hit up the hotline 203-941-0045. You can call that or you can text that. Hit us up, man, if you want to shout out, if you want to talk some shit, if you got advice, if you need
wanna
advice,
troll?
let us know. Yeah, if you want to troll
You
it
wanna
up,
heckle?
you want to hack. But yeah, man, 203-941-0045. Hit that number or text.
Think that wraps it up, gentlemen. Anything else?
Wrap it up. We're
Parting
done.
words?
This is it, folks. 3-piece and a biscuit signing out. See ya next week.
Episode 15. Peace.